How about it indeed? Welcome once again to World Championship Wrestling. We have got 1,000 things to talk about, and I want to get started by saying that a site has been selected for the next World Heavyweight Championship match. Let me bring in the promoter in Baltimore, Maryland, Gary Juster, and let me bring in Ole Anderson. But I want to congratulate Gary Juster. He is the man who outbid everybody else, and Baltimore will be the site for the World Championship match.
That's right, Gordon, and we're very honored and pleased to bring this important match to the great fans of Baltimore.
I'll tell you what, Ole, that is quite a coup.
I think so, and Gary, congratulations to you and the city of Baltimore, because I'm sure everybody's going to be thrilled to see the World Championship match take place up in Baltimore.
And Gary, we'll be talking more as time goes by, and certainly, again, congratulations, and we'll be looking forward to your return.
Very good, Gordon. Thank you.
Okay, Gary Juster. And now, let's talk about Mr. Paul Ellering. Fined $3,500 for interference in the operation of World Championship Wrestling with Wahoo McDaniel and that telephone call to you.
Well, there's a few things that we've got on film, and the thing is that Mr. Ellering just had the gall to inform us ahead of time. We've got some film clips, and we'd like to go back and just take a look at them, and you can see that Ellering has the whole thing planned. He even tells us to our face ahead of time.
Listen to me, Ole Anderson. Listen up and listen. You might learn something. Here he is, Gordon. So look at Ole Anderson sticking his big nose in there, saying that this man can no longer go on. Have mercy on him, he's saying. By the way, I imagine you'll be hearing from him very soon.
Okay, there it was. There was the thing. He was cluing you in ahead of time that Brett Sawyer would be calling.
Well, we took a look at the films, and we see also a little signal or a little sign. At first, it wasn't noticeable, but take a look and watch this, and you'll see what looks as though a sign being made by Paul Ellering.
And 15 seconds later, a phone call. Watley still trapped in that sign. Now, Ellering indicating something. All right, and then, of course, later on in the program, Jake the Snake Roberts stopped by, flipping a quarter.
Well, watch and see what he says. You can draw your own conclusions, I'm sure. It doesn't take Einstein. Ellering, we're on to you. Take a look at Jake Roberts.
What a nice little piece of a trinket, you might say. You put these in phone booths, Gordon, they work real well.
Well, maybe that's where the phone call came from. From there, the board of directors of World Championship Wrestling began quite an investigation. Much of the evidence, perhaps circumstantial, but nonetheless, Paul Ellering fined $3,500.
$3,500, Paul. For once, put that in your pipe. Let's see how you like it. $3,500 to you. Let's go to the ring and see a match.
Right on. Of course, we're beginning our round-robin tournament now to determine who will meet the World Heavyweight Champion in Baltimore. And our first tournament match is Larry Zbyszko against Ronnie Garvin.
It's a good one. Ronnie Garvin, former television champion, and, of course, Larry Zbyszko, the national heavyweight champion, former national heavyweight champion. It should be a real exciting match.
Let's go to the ring. We will explain to you at this particular time.
Ladies and gentlemen, World Championship Wrestling presents the first round elimination match for the World Heavyweight Championship. The winner of the tournament to meet Ric Flair. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, 240 pounds, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, former national heavyweight champion, Larry Zbyszko. Larry Zbyszko. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, 240 pounds from Montreal, Canada, the man with a fist of stone, Ronnie Garvin. Ronnie Garvin. One fall with a 10-minute time limit.
Okay, Ron Allen making the introductions on this first tournament match. Now, there must be a pinfall or a submission in order to advance in the tournament. So, let's see what happens here now. Zbyszko, the great arbitrator in the ring. He always has a lot to say to the referee, to his opponent. Garvin moved right in on him.
Well, Zbyszko tries to psych his man out. That's why he does all the talking. He'll tell his opponent that he's bigger. He'll tell him that he's stronger. He'll tell him that he's going to have a hard road to go when he wrestles Larry Zbyszko.
And they generally do have a pretty hard road to go. Arm drag and twist now by Ronnie Garvin. Garvin had a pretty severe laceration over that one eye. And I'm going to be watching Zbyszko very carefully. I imagine he may possibly go for that.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it for a minute. Zbyszko is a good wrestler, and as I can see now, looking at him, not having seen him for several weeks, he's undoubtedly been training pretty hard because he looks to be in better shape. He looks as though he's gained about 15 pounds, I would guess. And certainly, for as important an event, the match as this is, he'd want to be as good as he possibly can be.
No question about it, and it's Zbyszko once again moving up on the ring apron and starting to step through. By the way, I should mention Nick Patrick is back in action, and certainly a pleasure to see Nick Patrick back after, well, several months of inactivity due to extensive surgery to his knee, but he appears to be right back into the swing of things now. And the arbitrator outside the ring. Psychological ploys, and Ronnie Garvin, the man with the hands of stone, waiting on him.
Well, Zbyszko has obviously seen Ronnie Garvin, and recently we've shown Garvin to be a pretty tough individual. They're calling him now the hands of stone, and maybe Zbyszko just doesn't want to test those hands.
Good point. Excellent point, and it's a side headlock now by Zbyszko. Garvin hooks the near leg. And Zbyszko having his problems now as Garvin keeps that pressure on him. And, well, this could be dangerous for either man. He's trying his best to get Zbyszko jammed into the mat. Interesting series here.
You know, this is a great match, and the one that we just had before was a good match. Heavyweight champion Brad Armstrong and that Rocky Jones, a newcomer. A good, clean, scientific wrestling match, and I'm sure a match that was enjoyed by everybody.
It was indeed a tremendous match. Zbyszko getting some extra leverage that time. Zbyszko getting the extra leverage and gets back into the side headlock. Zbyszko will take those shortcuts. He's got all of the talent, all of the skill in the world, but nonetheless, with his personality, he sometimes, I guess, feels it necessary to get the extra edge, and he does it by rather shoddy means. Now Garvin battling his way back up into a topper's block.
Zbyszko does a lot of talk, but there's one thing that's obvious. He also can wrestle.
Back into the side headlock once again as Garvin is trapped. Garvin appeared on that last exchange going into that topper's block to perhaps have a little more upper body strength, or maybe he had a little better leverage that time. But both of these men, obviously in just tremendous physical condition. Zbyszko on his bicycle now. Leaves the ring, trying to break any momentum that Garvin might have going.
Well, Garvin gets to be just a little bit hot-headed, and he certainly was there. Zbyszko, I'm sure, was coming across with that the knuckles possibly across the eye, across the laceration that he's got over that left eye, and Garvin just didn't like it, and he told him in no uncertain terms. Zbyszko backed away, quite obviously.
Once again, their collar and elbow up into the turnbuckle now. And it is Garvin. And Garvin fighting fire with fire at this point in time. He's paying him back in kind. Well, we might have a bald Larry Zbyszko before it's all over.
We may have, and I'm sure that he's going to get gain a little more respect for Ronnie Garvin, because Ronnie Garvin's not a guy to fool with.
Full body slam by Garvin. Garvin crashes down, but Zbyszko rolls to one side. It's Garvin coming up a little bit slowly. Zbyszko quickly closing in. Double club to the back of the head of Ronnie Garvin, and Zbyszko now taking what a neck breaker by Zbyszko has Garvin down. Zbyszko's tough. He took a lot of punishment, came right back after him. Into a rear chin lock on Ronnie Garvin. Referee Nick Patrick moving up to one side. Now you can see him checking, making sure it's not a choke. Patrick keeps moving around, watching carefully. Remember, the winner of this goes on to the semifinals. So possibly one of these two men could be going up against the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair. So there's a lot of extra pressure on this match.
There sure is. Remember, it started with a bunch of invitations going out to top wrestlers all over the world. It was narrowed down to these wrestlers that we'll be seeing today and that we'll be seeing next week. And one of them is going to get the opportunity of a lifetime to go against the World Heavyweight Champion in a city which we've now found out to be Baltimore, Maryland.
And it's Garvin driving an elbow into the midsection. Drives it back into that abdominal wall once again, and Zbyszko fires back. Neither man has really been able to gain an established advantage thus far.
Well, they're very evenly matched. Both of them can wrestle. Both of them can punch it out if they have to. Sometimes I think Garvin might have the edge, but then Zbyszko will come back with something, and it looks like he's got the edge. So it's a toss-up.
Garvin up with the head scissors, the flying head scissors, has Zbyszko down. Zbyszko, a foot on the rope. Tell by the, and no, sir. He geeks a foot on the rope, and again, Zbyszko leaves the ring. Again, he felt that perhaps the tide was turning in favor of Ronnie Garvin, and so very quickly he rolls out of the ring, breaks that momentum. That's much like calling a timeout just before you're trying to, that critical field goal. And they're checking the eye of Garvin. They're checking the eye of Garvin. The referee checking it. Garvin saying, no, let's get on with it. And so Zbyszko finally succeeded in what he was trying to do earlier. And so Ronnie Garvin maybe having some vision problems. And sure, Zbyszko right after him again. Now Zbyszko showing his real character, taking full advantage. Garvin down. Zbyszko will have the advantage now, being able to come from that opposite side. Garvin powers out. Garvin explodes back. The hands of stone all of a sudden exploding in the side of the jaw to an inside cradle. Zbyszko powers out. This has been mile-a-minute action since the very ring of the bell.
It sure has, and I've seen Garvin like this many times. It seemed as though the end had come for him, and he just finds that shot of adrenaline somewhere. He picks it up from way down. Almost got Zbyszko again, but he'll come back, and it's just like there's no stopping Garvin. I don't know what it would take to stop that man, short of probably a hammer on the head.
Really? And so Zbyszko in trouble again. Garvin riding him now, sort of a frog ride on Zbyszko, and Garvin back to his feet. Garvin now explodes, catches him again and again with those hands of stone, and this could be all she wrote for Larry Zbyszko. High backdrop by Ronnie Garvin into a lateral press. Count of two, a near fall. Up into the ropes again.
Remember, Gordon, that this is a one-fall, 10-minute time limit, and understand by the timekeeper that over just a little less than 2 minutes are left to go in this match.
Well, of course, that brings up an interesting point, too. Well, there's only, it appears to me, less than a minute remaining. Less than a minute. That shoulder was off. The shoulder was off. Referee Nick Patrick checking very carefully. There's the bell. There's the bell. Well, the bell has rung. Neither man was able to gain a pinfall or a submission hold to win the match, and that means the draw match. Both men are eliminated. Both men are eliminated. Both men wanting more time, but there is no more time. And there will be wrestling tonight in Thomaston, Georgia. Tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock, in Macon, Georgia at the Coliseum, and, of course, tomorrow night, the Omni.
That's right, tomorrow night in the Omni. The true test of a person's character is what you do about what happens. Wahoo McDaniels and Youngblood, tomorrow night in the Omni, we'll find out what kind of character you men are made of. There's a lot of people out there that believe you are the ones that can finally derail the Legion of Doom and the Road Warriors in particular. But my money's on the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors and the Legion of Doom. McDaniels, Indians, you've always been losers. We're gonna get you in the Omni tomorrow night. Action at the Omni tomorrow night, 8:30, a sensational night. The Road Warriors, National Tag Team Champions, clash with Chief Wahoo McDaniel and Jay Youngblood. $15,000 challenge and match. King Kong Bundy against the Russian strongman Nikolai Volkoff. Jake the Snake Roberts, World TV Champion, and the Spoiler take on Brad Armstrong, National Heavyweight Champion, and Ronnie Garvin. Larry Zbyszko returns to Georgia, clashing with Tim Horner, and former World Tag Team Champions Jack and Jerry Brisco clash with Sweet Brown Sugar and Tommy Rogers, plus one other exciting match. Tickets at the Omni in all seats locations. That's tomorrow night. Remember, tomorrow night, 8:30, the Omni in Atlanta. Don't miss it. Be there.
Don't forget, wrestling tonight in Thomaston, Georgia. Tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, Macon, Georgia. Tomorrow night, the Omni, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, Mr. DiBiase's not going to be there, so I got myself a fine partner. DiBiase's taking a little vacation, you understand, because Tommy RIch is no more where to be found. Rich, it's over with you. So now it's Brad and Garvin. Garvin, you're not going to get your hands on me, because this man will keep you busy.
That's right, Garvin and Armstrong. It's only a matter of time before you go down, because our reputations are on the line, and you're going to be beat once and for all.
Volkoff, and I come from the biggest and strongest country in the whole world, Russia. And I don't care how much you weigh, how big you are, Bondi, because I go come there and I go slam you, and I go take your money away, Bondi. And after I slam you, Bondi, you're going to be so embarrassed, just like American Olympic team. And after I beat you, Bondi, after the match, I go beat you so bad, then you go cry for your mommy with your ugly face, Bondi. And all the money I've in there, I go take back to Russia. I go send to my mother to invest in a Russia war board, to build more missiles, to keep peace in the war, because we, Russia, we are peaceful people.
Precious Paul Ellering has joined me at the desk.
I want to personally thank Larry Zbyszko. Oh, yes, Larry. By going that 10 minutes, Garvin is no longer in the tournament. What an insidious mind. The Legion of Doom uses all of its assets. Now there's no more Garvin. I predict that Jake the Snake and Hawk the Road Warrior will win the tournament and wrestle Ric Flair. Listen here, all you going to fight you. You can't touch me or you'll be fined and kicked off of wrestling for good. So get on that.
Hey, we talk about being fined. How does it feel to be $3,500 poorer? For once,
listen here, not only am I good looking, and not only do I possess intelligence, but I have a lot of money. $35,000. Well, I've never signed a check I can't cash. There.
Well, we've got a match in the ring right now. Jake the Snake Roberts moving out against Roger Bond. And I notice that Mr. Roberts is indeed using some protection around those ribs.
There's nothing wrong with Jake's ribs. I want to clear that point right now. His ribs are fine. He is wearing this apparatus merely as a precautionary measure.
A precautionary measure, okay. Well, I'll accept that at its face value. Jake the Snake Roberts driving a knee into the midsection of Roger Bond. Now an arm whip, and it is Bond on the canvas. Now it's Roberts bringing him up into a full body slam once again.
I have a question, Gordon. So I want to ask Ole Anderson if he has indigestion, because you've been eating your words a lot now, Ole Anderson. We're talking about Brett Wayne, the coward of the country, and Tommy RIch, the golden boy of wrestling. Well, he's been exposed. A fan showed me a photograph, and naturally, truth, honor, and justice must prevail. So I sent that photograph to Bob Geigel, and Bob Geigel took the final steps to kick Tommy RIch out of World Championship Wrestling.
Well, Mr. Ellering seems to be on rather a
You know, I thought that I would retire from wrestling. People ask me, why don't you do something with Paul Ellering? Yeah, you, Paul Ellering. And between trying to do right and trying to maintain a little composure and looking at your pointy head, it's very difficult, Paul. But if ever there was a reason to come back, you certainly could provide enough reason for me. But right now, I think it's enough to know one of your men is injured, another one of your men is running scared, and you're a few bucks poorer. If it takes more to finally get you in the right position, then some way or another, we'll just have to do something to find that more, whatever.
A series of shots to the ribs of Jake the Snake Roberts, and you can see he visibly winced as those shots caught him. And Roberts suddenly explodes back on Roger Bond with a DDT. And Bond.
Oh, what a masterful blow. And Ole Anderson, as usual with you, there's more at the mouth than there is at the source. Retire.
Indeed. Well, Jake the Snake, yeah, he's got rib problems, no question about it. You can see that. He's got rib problems, and they can say what they want to, but right now, here's a very special word. Of the tournament found two men eliminated, Ole, Larry Zbyszko and Ronnie Garvin. Now we've got former world champion Jack Brisco and Sweet Brown Sugar.
Well, I'll tell you, when we're talking about a main event match, certainly the former world champion Jack Brisco would like to have a chance in Baltimore. I know Sweet Brown Sugar would too, so let's find out who's going to get that opportunity, if either one of them do.
Let's turn to our ring announcer, Ronnie.
Ladies and gentlemen, this first round elimination match, also one fall with a 10-minute time limit. This is for the World Heavyweight Championship elimination. Introducing first from Blackwell, Oklahoma, 238 pounds, former World Heavyweight Champion, Jack Brisco. Jack Brisco. His opponent, ladies and gentlemen, at 232 pounds, Sweet Brown Sugar.
Sweet Brown Sugar moving out against Jack Brisco, and what a classic confrontation this should be. Both men exceptionally fast. Brisco, the master of the fireman carry. Sweet Brown Sugar with, well, brother, Brisco wasting no time in going right to the midsection and then very quickly hurdling Sweet Brown Sugar out of the ring.
I'll tell you, Brisco, former heavyweight champion, former NCAA collegiate champion, a great wrestler, but right now, Jack looks as though he's just bent on doing one thing, and that's winning the match.
Sweet Brown Sugar retaliating very quickly. Caught Brisco and has him staggered. Brisco off the ropes, and Sweet Brown Sugar brings him up. Full body slam. Said Sweet Brown Sugar's a man with steel springs in his legs. Brisco has his leg up on the ring rope. That force, and Brisco. Single leg pickup. Brisco, a four-letter athlete throughout his high school career. Went to Oklahoma State on a wrestling scholarship. Just a great, great competitor. Say a special hello to David Phillips, who's recuperating in the hospital after a car wreck. I wish Dave recovers in a hurry. Beautiful move by Sweet Brown Sugar. As Brisco to the canvas. Sweet Brown Sugar keeping the side headlock on Jack Brisco. Remember now, this is another in the elimination tournament matches to determine who will go against the World Heavyweight Champion Ric Flair. Sweet Brown Sugar with the side headlock. Jack Brisco. Trying to move out, trying to, well, up into a top wrist lock, and it was Brisco. Like it or not, he got some extra leverage that time. Jack Brisco, of course, and his brother Jerry Brisco, former world tag team champions as well. Both men with tremendous experience. both out of Oklahoma State University. Sweet Brown Sugar up and over his man. Good counter by Sweet Brown Sugar. And Brisco took the punishment on that one. And Brisco beginning to show the effects of the percussions that he's taken to the body. Sweet Brown Sugar getting the side headlock once again. Again, Sweet Brown Sugar with a hip lock takedown. Sweet Brown Sugar has been very consistent in his approach against this former world heavyweight champion. And with the spoiler making some comments, I couldn't quite hear them. But it broke the concentration of Sweet Brown Sugar. Brisco took advantage of that situation.
Let's Skip Young under that mask. I am the only true professional masked man in the business today, and I'm going to expose every other masked man.
Well, the comments from the spoiler, Jack Brisco got him up in a bear hug coming off the ropes. Brisco got in a shot to the back of Sweet Brown Sugar when Sugar's attention was diverted by, Sweet Brown Sugar caught him right on the belt line. And Brisco escaping outside the ring. And again, Brisco may be trying to break the momentum of Sweet Brown Sugar. You've got to be so careful in trying to... There's that fireman carry. Beautifully executed, and Brisco is the master of the fireman carry. There is no question about that. Heard from my good friend Mike Johnson up around Grand Rapids, and of course the offshore powerboat season getting underway. And it is Nick Patrick checking those shoulders. Brisco trying to keep that pressure on him. Brisco caught that time. Sweet Brown Sugar gets a full body scissors on Jack Brisco. As I've said about Sweet Brown Sugar, those extremely powerful legs. He's utilizing them here, forcing the air out of Jack Brisco. You can see the intensity, the concentration, and the pain in Jack Brisco. He's got to break this scissors if he's going to... well, look at Brisco turning it to his own advantage. Once again, Nick Patrick down checking those shoulders. A very critical match for both of these men. Referee checking those shoulders again, and Brisco manages to get that shoulder off. And now it is Sweet Brown Sugar keeping a full body scissors right across the abdominal wall of Jack Brisco. So he's got to be having a lot of problems trying to get air into his lungs. Brisco breaks it. Brisco is able to get the leverage and broke it, and now attacking the legs of Sweet Brown Sugar. Brisco really concentrating on the legs of Sweet Brown Sugar. Went for the figure four, but nice counter by Sweet Brown Sugar, and Sugar catches some vertical body block, but Brisco, good chain reaction. Jack Brisco slides into a victory Good counter wrestling by Jack Brisco. And so Jack Brisco moves on in the tournament. Sweet Brown Sugar is eliminated. Their way to the ring. Let's go to the ring. Ooh, the Hawk daring Starbuck and then begins to punish him. Pressing Starbuck high above his head. Full body slam from about 8 feet in the air. Now the animal moves in. Ooh. Well, I'll tell you, Steve Brinson, they better get him out there because Starbuck's in trouble. Starbuck needs to get over and tag up with Brinson. Brinson, by the way, out of Albany, Georgia, 250 pounds. Heck of an athlete and a good, powerful man. Shoulder breaker, but it glanced off to one side. And that was a lucky thing for Starbuck. Full body slam, and the tag is made, Steve Brinson. Now, let's see how they move. And Brinson gets a side headlock on the Road Warrior. Got him very quickly. Brinson at 250. Ducks away from the Road Warrior, gets back into another side headlock. And so Brinson, big... Ooh, look at this, though. Man, I'll tell you, that Hawk. The Hawk and the Animal, both awesome individuals. And again, Starbuck pressed above the head of the Animal. Man. Starbuck taking more punishment.
Get off the hair. 1, 2, 3.
Not too terribly much time remaining, but by the way, I'd like to remind you too that next week here on World Championship Wrestling, you'll be seeing the sensational Crusher Blackwell, 6 feet 420 pounds. You talk about super heavyweights. There's another one, Crusher Blackwell, here next week on World Championship Wrestling. The Hawk sending Starbuck back into the ring. And Starbuck, I don't believe is sure where he's at now. Starbuck again needs to get over and tag up. The Animal has, and Starbuck is totally out of it. He is completely out of it. Referee Nick Patrick warning the Animal about the situation with Starbuck, but Starbuck is completely decimated. The Hawk back in there. The Hawk caught him, boot in the midsection. And it is, well, not very much time remaining, and Starbuck is hapless and helpless. Oh, brother. That is all she wrote. The count of 3. The count of 3. Those Road Warriors are bigger and tougher than ever. Our time is complete. Larry Zbyszko and Ronnie Garvin both eliminated from the chance at the World Heavyweight Champion.
That's right, and Jack Brisco, former World's Heavyweight Champion, will be one of the contestants in the semifinals for that big heavyweight championship match.
And those, of course, will be taking place next week here on World Championship Wrestling, so by all means, do be tuned. We'll be talking to Jack Brisco a little bit later on, and Ole, you and I will talk during this match about this man, Paul Ellering. But right now, we've got a match in the ring. Tommy Rogers. For this next match. Spoiler moving out against Steve Brinson. Brinson Big, powerful individual, 250 pounds, going up against the Spoiler. He doesn't have the experience or background of the Spoiler. And it is Brinson being punished by the Spoiler. Brinson goes to the midsection, goes again, and the Spoiler rocking a bit from those percussions to the midsection. But it's the Spoiler retaliating. And the Spoiler coming off the ropes has Brinson down. Again, the Spoiler utilizing the ropes. He's the only man I've ever seen that really uses the ropes as a tag team partner throughout an entire match. He's the one who came by the desk and made an accusation about sweet brown sugar. Said it was actually Skip Young. Well, and so the Spoiler looking at this man a little more cautiously now. Quick arm drag takedown on Brinson. Locked. Another arm drag takedown on Brinson. And so Brinson, hip toss by the Spoiler. Full slam. And it is the Spoiler going up on that top rope. Wow. And goes for the claw. He goes for the claw. It's over. It's over. Once he gets that claw on you, it is over. There's no question about it. And so the victor in this match is indeed the Masked Spoiler. And now here is a very special word. Paul Ellering have joined us.
I want to say one thing about other professional wrestling masked men. Whoever comes in here, I'm going to expose them on TV. I'm going to expose their names. I'm going to tell everybody who they are. For over 10 years, I've worn this mask. It has never come off. No one has ever seen me. Nobody knows my real name. And I'm going to eliminate every other masked man that comes in on TV.
Well, I would just like to say that you did go so far as allegedly say that the sweet brown sugar was somebody else, but there's another man coming this way that you're going to have to watch out for, sir, Mr. Olympia.
Let Mr. Olympia come in and I will expose him. No one, and I repeat it, no one is going to come near my image that I have created for over 10 years as the #1 masked man in professional wrestling. The Spoiler, remember. You can't forget.
I assume you're going to keep us informed then.
I'm going to keep you informed every week, even if I have to carry a big sign around the ring. And come on TV and tell you, Gordon, who their real names really are.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the ring right now. We've got an outstanding matchup coming. Rocky Jones going out against Larry Santana. 1 fall, 10-minute time limit. Jones out of New Jersey. Came out of Kean University, where he played football and wrestled as well. 236 pounds. Larry Santana. Beautiful takedown by Jones. Good go behind. Bottom wrist lock by Jones. Lateral drop and takedown. Into a head scissors by Jones. Notice he keeps the arm tied up as well, and he's got the right arm of Santana. Brother Jones is all over him. Santana must think that Jones has 4 arms and 4 legs. Hip lock takedown by Jones once again. Santana slips away and has the head scissors on Jones. Now let's see what Jones can do in counter wrestling.
I just want to reiterate one thing, and that is, you had a masked man out here by the name of Sweet Brown Sugar. I know, and everybody else is going to know from now on, who his real name is, Skip Young. And if anybody else comes on with a mask, I'm going to expose them, Gordon.
Comments from the spoiler, and, well, I'll tell you, hard to divine sometimes the thinking processes of some people. Santana fires him up. Brother. Rocky caught him solid with the shoulders coming in. Jones has exceptionally good definition. Drop kick that puts Santana back to the canvas again. Side headlock back into the ropes. Santana firing several to the midsection. Jones stalks him. It's a side headlock on him. And Jones almost let his temper get him that time, but backed away. Good clean break. Again, it's Jones with a side headlock. He moves into that very smoothly. Santana manages to blow him back into the turnbuckle and then rams that elbow to the midsection. Catches him in the base of the skull. Good drop kick by Santana. Took Jones by surprise. Jones fires quickly to the midsection. A good polo-like forearm under the jaw puts Santana back to the canvas again. Caught him. Drove a foot right to the midsection. Wow. There's that reverse slam. Put him down for the count. Outstanding match. And this man, Jones, is going to be somebody to watch. He is an outstanding competitor. Jack Brisco, and a man who obviously looks like he's on his way to possibly regaining that title.
I'll tell you, Gordon, I've won the World's Championship twice before. And of course, they say the third time's a charm. And I want to be three-time World's Champion. I had my first match right here, defeated Sweet Brown Sugar, and very proud of it. Sweet Brown Sugar is a great wrestler, no doubt about it.
Well, of course, next week will be the semifinals, from there to the finals, and from there to a chance at Ric Flair.
Well, Ric Flair is a man everybody's shooting for. Of course, the ultimate goal of every wrestler is to be world champion. And Ric Flair, I'm coming after you.
Well, of course, you and Jerry Brisco, your brother, of course, held the World Tag Team Championship.
We held the World Tag Team Championship for quite some time. And of course, Jerry and I we feel that we're the best tag team combination around today, and we're willing to prove it to anyone.
All right, there you have it. The comments from Jack Brisco, an outstanding athlete, and a pleasure to have him on with us.